Space 3D manufacturing. I did a podcast yesterday on the economics of space and the infrastructure of space, because as we start moving out and colonizing and exploring further, I talked yesterday about Pluto and Titan, what we've done there, Venus. We've sent probes to all those places. Voyager has left the solar system. Jupiter. NASA wants to colonize the moon. There's also efforts towards asteroid mining and a lot more. So the economics of that are being planned for by a number of companies in terms of space manufacturing. One aspect of that is 3D printing. There's 3D printing going on the space station. With microgravity, you could print things that you couldn't on Earth, like biological organs with vascular networks. Because what happens is on Earth, the materials tend to bleed together, the layers, but on another big application is microfibers. They find that there's much stronger, faster capabilities potentially of microfibers, manufactured in space. So space manufacturing is going to allow us to not only do things that we could transport to Earth, but also help us in our exploration and colonization in space itself. So one thing being worked on is actually, instead of like manufacturing all the satellites on Earth, is manufacturing the base of it and then putting a 3D printer with it that can do the rest of the printing of the satellite in space. Because what happens is rockets, no matter how big they are relatively small, and to put a big satellite in there, you have to fold it up, and it's very complex. And it's expensive because it weighs a lot, and you have to pay for all the fuel to leave Earth. So what if you could just put the basis of the satellite in space and then self-design the rest? So self-designing is kind of an offshoot of like robotics and autonomy. Like drones and artificial intelligence are becoming more self-directed, just like cars are becoming more self-directed. And self-organization is a big principle where robots will be creating other robots, and robots will be organizing more of their own activities towards goal direction, with AI. So in regard to space and 3D printing, the whole world becomes your canvas. Like on Earth, you could paint, you could draw, you could manufacture, but space is huge. So if you could manufacture in space, you could bring those products back down to Earth, but you could also bring them to Mars, you could bring them to orbit, you could bring them to the moon, you could bring them to Saturn or Titan. So it creates the infrastructure to have like civilization out among the planets and eventually the stars.